of things that I'd like to ask you about. Number one is the political campaigns. It seems you've always been active in no matter what candidates were running. You've kind of had your finger in the pie, and especially when Harold Washington ran.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, Harold was a fantastic person. He did so many fantastic things, and he brought so many wonderful people along with him. One of them is sitting right over there now, but Commissioner Steele. She had her first meeting in my dining room back in the day when she was going to run for a commissioner.
Tell them about the gumbo.
I was always interested in things that affected me, and politics affects from your first breath until you're covered in the ground. So everything is dealing with politics, and I hear people sometimes say, I don't want to be involved with politics. Whether or not you want to be involved with politics, politics is going to be involved with you.
Yeah, right.
And so I want to be involved in making whatever difference it is that's going to affect me. So I've always been involved with politics, and like there are some people in politics who have been in politics and are presently in politics who are just so corrupt, and the Daley family is one of them. I don't vote for anybody named Daley. I don't care how they spell it. So that's my attitude about that clan. But we have other clans too, and it appears that everybody can have a clan and it's all right, so long as they're not black. You know, everybody can inherit from their political family except for black people, and then it becomes something wrong with it. But when everybody else, their daughters and their sons and their cousins and everybody joins the gang, joins their group, and it's okay. But I guess that's just the way it is.
Okay, to change the subject another time. Anybody who's ever partaken of a potluck always knows that your dish is the best. And you've always been a great cook. And now you're a vegetarian and organic gardener. I know you got started cooking when you were 7.
Yeah. I had a lot of practice.
Well, what got you started with the gardening and with, organic growing?
I can't really say what got me started with it. I can't say what really got me started with the gardening. I've gardened since back in the 60s. It started with just loving beautiful plants and things, and then I started to grow food and eat the food that I grew, and now I have a really nice sized garden in my backyard, and I grow a lot of food in my, I give away a lot of it because I can't eat all of it, but I try to eat healthy now. I know back in the day I had problems with certain things, like I had sinus problems, and I don't have sinus problems anymore. Years ago, I used to have headaches. I don't have headaches anymore. But back in like about the early 80s, I stopped eating meat, and I cleansed my system of it. And I try and keep my system clean. And like there are so many things now that that has so many toxins in them, and the government allow the millionaires to put anything in the food that we eat to to make it grow and to make it look pretty and make people want it. And so it keeps all of us sick. And the insurance companies, the drug companies, I'll say, have so much to do and to say about what we are allowed to eat. Now it's getting to the point where they are making things without seeds. I don't eat watermelon that does not have seeds in it. So that's chemically engineered, and I don't eat chemically engineered things. And a lot of people don't, and I was at the store once and I was saying, oh, this watermelon, this is a seedless watermelon. And the lady, oh yeah, that's the kind I like. I said, well, that's not the kind that's the best for you. Every fruit should have seeds so that it can reproduce. If it doesn't have seeds, then something else produces it. So that's just not a natural thing that you think about. And so I like to eat healthy.
Any plans for the future, I guess, besides going to Africa once a year? And when are you going to settle down?
I don't know when I'm going to settle down. But you know what my future plans that I have for myself, what I would really love to do is to get involved with some of the high schools and make sure and work with the counselors or someone in the school, especially in the African communities, and help them to get trips together for some of their students to visit Africa so that they can know where they come from. Because we have no idea about our own history. We know about, and even in school, they don't teach us about our history. They teach us about France and Italy and all of the countries, but they don't teach us about Africa, and everything came from Africa. Everything came from Africa. And we are not taught about Africa, and these children don't have the understanding of who they are. And that's why they're so confused, because nobody tells them. And actually, most of them don't have anybody who knows. And you can't teach what you don't know. And so the children are just out there.
Well, we're just about out of time. Any parting thoughts, or do you have time for one or two questions?
Any questions?
Oh! You know what, Betty was quickest on the uptick there.
Yeah, I want to know what brought you to Third Church.
Well, I brought Miss Roberta really brought me to Third Church. I've known Roberta since Liz was 5 years old, and I joined the PTA, and I became the president of the PTA the first day I went to the meeting. And I was working at Douglas School, and we needed some place to have a little event for our graduating seniors. And Roberta said that I could have it at her church. And I came and talked to Donna Wheat, and we had a little party at our church for our graduates. And from that I did other things and came to other events at the church, and the church was so active in the community and doing things to help the community. I became kind of involved, and I promised myself that if Harold Washington won the election in '83, I was going to join the church. And this was the only church that I could join that made sense to me. See, things have to make sense to me. Those other churches don't make sense to me. So this was the only church that made sense to me.
Okay, other hand, Kathy back there.
Barbara, it's wonderful to hear you this morning, and I remember something you told me a long time ago about your religious development and how old you were when this started for you. And I was so impressed, and I wonder if you'd be willing to say anything about that.
I didn't hear you.
She's asking about your religious development and how that,
How old you were?
how old you were when that,
Oh, back in the day when I couldn't join the church.
Because the spirit didn't.
I must have been about 8 years old then.
Wow.
Yes.
She wants to know what the story was.
What?
You told her the story, I think, before, and she's saying, would you share that?
I think did you come in late, Kathy?
Oh, did she tell us that
Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
uh-huh.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's
My
great.
transportation was
Carla.
delayed.
Okay.
I just
Yeah, we'll
wanted
tell
to
you about
say
it
that
later.
one night when we had Pads here, Ron had the overnight thing, and in the morning he came home and said, well, Barbara Miner came to the church at 12:15 with 2 homeless people for us to bring in to sleep.
That's what we did. That's what our job was. And someplace to put them and give them some information about what they could do the next day and all that stuff.
Yeah. One last question, right here.
I don't have a question, it's just that the information you gave about the workers on the train bringing the Defender to the south,
Mhm.
I just want to make sure everybody know those were Pullman porters.
Pullman porters, right.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, Betty.
Yeah, my comment was also that, you know, from the history, the Chicago Defender was instrumental in a lot of things related to blacks coming north. And of course, there's history in terms of the factories
yeah.
wanted them to come north so they could help break the unions at one period of time. But the Chicago Defender was instrumental. I wanted to say, remember there was a Chicago newspapers where they would say white only for jobs.
Right.
Okay?
Right, they
Spiegel
put it
was
on
a
there.
place I went to work when I came here. It was not a fun place to work, so I worked there for 3 weeks. Okay, it was not fun.
But this lady lasted 10 years.
That was, yes.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to cut it off now,
Fun, yes.
the comments, because we've run out of time. And I want to thank everybody for participating today. Thank you, Barbara. And please be with us next week. Be with us at 11 upstairs for a celebration of life. And next week is a very special forum. Pioneering Austin Scholarship is 41 years old, I hear, and we'll have the Don Wheat, Roberta Wilson, Betty Harris, and other founders of the Austin Scholarship Program for a discussion. And then on February 22nd, Frank Older is going to lead a session of readers and listeners. So if you have anything, if you've written anything or you want to read something, come then. And then we skip March 1st till March 8th, and we'll try to have a program on International Women's Day with the Illinois Nurses Association. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.